it turns out that anytime many of my African friends hear economic freedom, they're like, yeah, of course we want economic freedom. And then as they speak, I'm starting to notice that in their mind, when they hear me say economic freedom, they're in fact hearing financial freedom. The two seem to equate. Okay, I could see why that would be the case, but it's important we really agree on what we're trying to say here. When I'm talking about economic freedom, I'm talking about the freedom to enterprise. I'm talking about all of those indicators as they are measured by indexes like the Doing Business Index of the World Bank. What I'm talking about is how free are you to start and run a business? How, and in that you can put in notions like how long does it take you to register your business legally? How long, how much money would it cost you for you to register your business legally? Like, the different fees that you have to pay, maybe to the different agencies, government agencies, in order for this business to actually be, set up legally. The lawyers you have to hire, or in Francophone nations, the notaries that you have to hire, all of that stuff, yeah. And then beyond that, we're talking also about the labor laws, how much freedom do you and your employee have to enter into a contract without the government, overseeing the whole thing, as it is the case right now in a country like Senegal versus a country like America. In America, you have employment at will. In Senegal, if you are a legal business and you're doing business in a legal manner, I'm not talking about you being in the informal sector. If you're going to be legal, you have to follow a few rules. I would actually say you would have to follow a million gazillion rules. So all of these rules, as a matter of fact, whether it's in the employment labor laws or whether it's in the tax laws, and when I talk about tax laws, it's not just about how much taxes do you have to pay, which is the amount of taxes needed to be paid in, it turns out in poorer nations is astronomical compared to, actually wealthy nations like the US. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but that's the case, and it's a big problem. So it's not just about how much taxes you have to pay, but it's also about all the hoops that you have to jump through in order to actually pay even those taxes. So the fact that, you have on top of that to literally physically go from point A to point B to pay your taxes in this situation, that's a little bit an infringement on your freedom. In other places, that's not the case. The path is with a few less obstacles, right? So all of these things, when you put them together, that's what we talk about when we say economic freedom. It's all of those things that go into this big box that economists call economic freedom. And you can see that the more rules and regulations, the less free entrepreneurs, it turns out, are to enterprise. They will tell you, yes, you can enterprise, but you have a million hoops to jump through. Where if this other nation, same entrepreneur, can enterprise, but they only have 5 hoops to jump through, that's what we mean by economic freedom. The one that has to jump through a million hoops has less freedom than the one who has to jump through 5 hoops or 100 hoops. And so that's what we mean by economic freedom. And you can see how it is tightly, how you could, if you want to use another word that might be less confusing for you, you can just use the freedom to enterprise, free enterprise. So hoping that makes sense. Now, when you talk about financial freedom means that you have money in your pocket. It's yours. You have enough money to do everything you need to do without asking anyone for help, support, or agreement. That's what financial freedom means. But you can see that in order to have financial freedom, you have to have made those funds in the first place. And to make those funds, we need economic freedom, because when an entrepreneur in a nation has a critical threshold of economic freedom, we know that then entrepreneurs can really get to work, do their magic of building businesses, which also means building jobs, creating jobs, and those jobs basically goes to people. Now it means that these people have a source of income, the job. If you have a source of income, it means you're making money. And if you're making enough of that, you have financial freedom. But you see, you need to have economic freedom in order to achieve financial freedom. The two are very linked, indeed, but they don't mean the same thing. So for the love of God, I hope you got this. And next time we speak, we're all on the same level. If you want to know more about the difference between economic freedom and financial freedom, please watch this video.